Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'll be giving you my Aries January 2020 horoscope forecast, part one of two. Yes, it does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is as far as January goes, the Sun will be in Capricorn from the 1st until the 20th, so the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. There could be a strong focus, concentration of energy and attention on one's career matters, stature in life, social status, success, the dominant parent, which is often the father, authority, maybe even attaining a position of authority, notoriety, recognition, status at this time, public image, reputation. And given that this is Capricorn energy, a lot of this may be done with a lot of premeditation, a lot of planning, and a lot of prudence, a lot of caution. It could be done really being very conservative. There could be a focus on attaining more notoriety and recognition if you're promoting a page on Facebook or something, but it might be done very cautiously, very planned at this time, very methodically. I mean, that is what Capricorn energy can be about. Now, given that the sun in astrology can be connected with the dominant males in our lives, this could be a time where the dominant male could be the father, may be playing an integral role in your career and your success in your life at this time. It could be a Capricorn sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Capricorn characteristics. Now, next thing up is as far as January goes, the sun will be in Aquarius from the 20th until the 31st. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, there could be a strong focus, concentration of energy put into one's goals, aspirations, one's future, stepchildren if applicable, friends, acquaintances, groups, clubs, organizations, social media, and social networking, given and even humanitarian endeavors. And given that this is Aquarius energy, this may be done with a lot of altruism, a lot of selflessness, or maybe done with a lot of amiable energy at this time. Maybe also done in a way with a lot of consideration, especially in matters perhaps with friends and acquaintances at this time. This could be a time too where there could be a really strong focus at this time on really, I mean, on some kind of Aquarius goal or aspiration, such as something with innovation, inventing new technology, computers, electronics, esoteric subjects, which include astrology, aerospace, astronomy. Could also be a time where this might shine the light on maybe a friend that might be rather innovative, eclectic, or unorthodox at this time, or it could be or it could just simply be an Aquarius friend or an acquaintance. It could be Aquarius sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Aquarius characteristics at this time, or it might even be some focus on a very eccentric or very unorthodox or unconventional, maybe something an unusual stepchild if applicable, or a friend or an acquaintance, and focusing on being very progressive in terms of really going after one's future at this time in one's goals and aspirations. So anyway, well, next thing up, there's going to be a full moon solar lunar eclipse in Cancer on January 10th. So the fourth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now we're talking about, as I've talked about with new moon solar eclipses. I mean, eclipses in astrology, I see them as they could be rather serendipitous. They could start out as something perhaps negative, but it might manifest and translate into something positive later. And we were talking about a full moon in Cancer, a lunar eclipse. It could be a time where one, I mean, as an example, when you're talking about the fourth house being emphasized and highlighted, this could be about a time where maybe something reaches a breaking point with an overly emotional, moody, or temperamental family member, and you decide to move out. And even if something doesn't look good or you don't have a home at this time, it could wind up translating into a new home where you have some safety and more security at this time. I mean, when something, when you're talking about lunar and solar eclipses, again, they can be very serendipitous, something that starts out very negative or adverse, but winds up being, could be something very positive at this time. And full moon in Cancer, but I mean, Cancer could be very powerful emotional blow-ups at this time. It could be due to some kind of being overly sensitive to ridicule or criticism, being tired of being maybe mocked or criticized or ridiculed, unleashing a very powerful emotional response to this. And being in the fourth house, it could be something um, with a family member, someone you're close to home, with the less dominant parent, which is often the mother. In some cases, this could be about a time too where maybe you've completed something in terms of safety and security for your home life, for that latter or end part of life. Whether especially if you're not already in it, it might be a time where you might actually complete it and you're ready for that part of your life. It might have been something that might have been a very painstaking process, but you finally completed it with a lot of Cancerian tenacity and dedication at this time. And really, and when you're talking about, I mean, these eclipses, especially I would say the full moon or the lunar eclipses, can be about departures of significant people. This could be about, a Cancerian person that you may have been close to home with. It could be a Cancer sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Cancerian characteristics. It could be a person. It may be, somebody that you might have, that you really, you felt close to home with, person that might have been a dominant family member to you at this time. It could have been maybe somebody that really just touched you, I mean, very strongly at this time. And again, someone very close to home with you. Or it could have been somebody maybe even in some kind of fourth house profession, such as like real estate or cooking or cooking. But it could be, again, it could be a person that could be played an integral role in your life scheme, that maybe perhaps leads, which could be departing at this time. But remember that departures can often signify new beginnings at this time as well, Aries. So anyway, and well, the next thing, I wanted to, well, one last thing I want to get as far as this full moon lunar eclipse in Cancer. I mean, remember that this could be, about revelations and unveilings, and very powerful ones. It could be something where you really, it could be something that's unveiled about somebody showing some kind of unequivocal love to you that could be close to home with you, in something, someone that could be prominent that latter or end part of your life. And also too, remember that this is about your ancestry and roots, the fourth house. This could be about a very strong, powerful revelation of something connected with your ancestry. It could be a person, that maybe you discovered, that could be a Cancer sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies those traits. It could have been somebody that that was a very sympathetic person, very nurturing, very, very caring. So those are some ways that this could manifest at this time. Now, going to the new moon in Aquarius on January 24th, the 11th house is what's going to be emphasized and highlighted. Now, this can manifest in a multitude of ways. This could be a time where you may begin an Aquarius type goal or aspiration, such as something with innovation, electronics, computers, astronomy, aerospace, astrology at this time. It could be a time where this could be the arrival of a new Aquarius stepchild or friend or an acquaintance. Again, could be an Aquarius sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Aquarius characteristics at this time. And also a new period of just being very progressive and forward moving regarding your future at this time, or beginning a new period of selflessness and humanitarianism with your friends, with your acquaintances, maybe even in group related matters. You might join you might join an Aquarius type group at this time, such as something associated with computers, electronics, radio controlled items, innovation, new ideas, something That requires strong cerebral intellectual ability. So those are some ways this could manifest and pan out at this time. Now, the next thing up, Mercury will be in Capricorn as far as January goes from the 1st until the 16th. So the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, this could manifest in a number of ways. It could be a time where you begin to really be thinking in a very premeditative way. You might be deciding to plan as far as your career goes, or even talking or communicating about Capricorn-related career ambitions at this time. It could be something connected with government work, politics, business, dentistry, even information technology, general mundane work, anything that could be Capricorn related, timekeeping. And it might be a time you've got to guard against becoming overly melancholy or despondent in 10th house matters, such as where you are in your life, your stature in life, your career matters with the dominant parent, which is often the father. Now, as I've stated previously, Mercury can also be about siblings. This could be about Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Capricorn characteristics. It could be a time at this time where you may where these siblings, maybe if you have them, they might figure prominently in your stature in life, your career ambitions. It could be your public image, your reputation, your success. And given that, I mean, a lot of this, whether they're beneficial or to your detriment, a lot of that could be predicated and dependent on aspects that are made to points in your chart. If this makes, say, sextile or trine your natal Jupiter, they could be rather auspicious in those matters. Adverse aspect your natal Saturn, it might go the opposite way, and they might affect you more adversely at this time. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. Anyway, well, next thing up, Mercury will be in Aquarius as far as January goes from the 16th until the 31st. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. This can manifest in a number of ways. This could be about speaking really with a lot of consideration to friends, to acquaintances at this time. And also this time you might be communicating about Aquarius-like goals and aspirations such as computers, electronics, innovation, astronomy, astrology, aerospace, even rocket science in some cases, things connected with humanitarianism, selflessness. It could be a time too where you're really thinking outside the box regarding your future at this time and thinking really very progressively in those matters. So those are some, ways this could manifest and pan out, and also expressing your innovative ideas and ingenious ideas with friends, with acquaintances, in groups, clubs, organizations at this time. And again, thinking outside the box regarding your future, perhaps, and also thinking really communicating really with a lot of more friendliness, perhaps with people on social media, social networking at this time as well. And also, again, Mercury can also be about siblings. This could be about Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Aquarius characteristics that might figure more prominently in your future, your goals, your aspirations, groups, clubs, organizations, social media, social networking at this time. So anyway, well, the next thing up is Venus will be in Aquarius as far as January goes from the 1st until the 13th. So at this time, the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now at this time, Aries, if you're unattached, you may connect with an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Aquarius characteristics and might figure strong in your goals, your aspirations, your future. You might meet this person at some group, club, or organization at this time. It might be through social media. It might be somebody you meet through the internet. This could be a person too that could be, somebody very innovative, very unique, very unorthodox. This could be about a lot of selfless spending at this time on friends, on acquaintances, on some groups at this time, and maybe even spending on electronic items, computer gadgets, things connected with aerospace or astronomy at this time. As well, if you're into model rockets or something, you might be spending money on that and doing and being part of these activities with friends and acquaintances at this time as well. And maybe you're buying some computer electronic items for friends and acquaintances at this time. So those are some ways that this can manifest and pan out for you. It could also be about valuing independence and freedom. Matters with stepchildren, if applicable, with friends, with acquaintances, in groups, as it matters as well. And really, those are some ways that this could pan out. Now, last but not least, Venus will be in Pisces as far as January goes, from the 13th until the 31st. So the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, one way this may manifest, this could be about having a clandestine affair with a Pisces sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies those traits. Now, it's possible at this time now, though this could be isolated. Now, it could also be about unrealistic spending, might be one's self-undoing as well, and tied into one's secret sorrows. It could be a time where you might be spending money, maybe perhaps on Pisces-related things, might be putting you in a financial limitation at this time. It could be on things that were somewhat unrealistic, or anything that could have been Pisces related. It could have been something connected with, even with dancing, or it might be some pharmaceutical items, or some, anything, that you might have had to, in some cases it could be on some kind on alcohol, in some isolated cases, perhaps even if it was just getting some beers, or this could be doing something, again, something that could be Pisces related, that money may have been spent on, that might be tied into one's monetary loss, or experiencing financial limitations at this time. So, or even something with the metaphysical, which includes astrology, or even spirituality, those items, you might have been some spending on those that might be putting you in a little bit of financial hole this time. And also, too, this could be a time as well that it can be, if you're unattached at this time, Aries, you may connect with a Pisces sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies those traits. It might be somebody that you really, again, it could be a clandestine connection, or something that you're involved with somebody very privately, in solitude and seclusion, or a person that might have some kind of strong limitation or restriction in their life, or somebody in some 12th house profession, such as the metaphysical, or photography, or anything in metaphysical, including astrology. And also, another way this may manifest, remember, Venus could be about what we value. This could be about valuing idealism, compassion, and really in matters perhaps with those less fortunate than yourself, valuing altruism with people that are less fortunate than yourself, such as the oppressed, the impoverished, the homeless, and the hungry, and also valuing idealism perhaps in dealing with limitations and restrictions at this time. And even people that are hidden adversaries, people that might be impersonating themselves as friends but really are not. So those are some, and also forgiveness in those matters. If somebody is unveiled at this time as a hidden adversary, that was really pretending to be your friend. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Aries January 2020 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. Stay tuned. Next time I'll be giving you my Aries January 2020 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.